I'm gonna do a mini Q&A. Also ignore my skin. I'm like feeling so bad. This last hotel that I'm staying in is so reminiscent of the Galapagos and like Spanish island style like housing in a way. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's very minimalistic. Not that Spanish people are minimalistic at all, trust me. I don't know how to explain it. Like really reminded me of home, and I kind of miss my Spanish food. I really do. Oh goodness, girl. Ooh, I don't remember when I want to send out another Q&A because that was fun that like you guys were asking questions. Okay, so I only got 8. I have a couple thousand followers on Instagram and I only got 8 questions. That's really funny because I know there's definitely more people interested. So if any of you are asking me questions outside of this, when I ask you to ask me questions and you're asking me questions outside of it, you're not getting an answer. You're not. That's the tea. I'm not gonna say my friends' names because I want to keep them private, but they know who they are. Okay. Craziest positive experience you've had so far. I like that you put the asterisks on positive because yeah, crazy to me, I probably would have thought of something negative. There's definitely a negative connotation to that word, crazy. Like crazy, like something really crazy. Like I'm thinking crazy, like what is crazy positive? I would say that I've had a lot of experiences that have just shook me to my core in many ways, more than one. I would definitely say my favorite experiences so far that have really like just like touched my heart, my soul, and like just all around just like had so much pleasure to be in that moment. Definitely actually recently when I was at Cement Nangche, just seeing how big those limestone forests were, like the little islands out in the distance, like it was just so humbling. They were gorgeous. They were, oh my God. Oh, I've never seen anything like it. That was incredible. That was an incredible moment. Another one I would say is when I went kayaking out there by myself with my tour guide, and he was just so pleasant and super funny. And he just made that experience all the more enjoyable for me. And those two were definitely the craziest positive experiences that I've had so far. Aside from just randomly meeting people and making some of the most amazing friends ever. I have so many friends like abroad now. It's like crazy. Like I'm literally like after Thailand, like I'm literally traveling to every other country. Like it's crazy like how many people you can meet here and how many people are just like of the same mind as you, and like they just want to travel. They're so open-minded, they're so kind, and they're wanting to learn more about like this life that we have. And yeah, it's just really nice. It's really nice to be able to do this, and I feel really blessed. Okay, this is another question. Do you have a budget for your travels, or do you wing it? Ooh, that's a good question. Okay, it depends. This depends for me personally, right? I am really good at budgeting when I want to, but I would say most of the time since I've been here, it's more of like something I have in the back of my mind. I'm like, okay, like I'm going here, let's not spend more than this when I go. And I don't have any specific amount allotted to certain activities or transportation or eating, anything like that. So I just have like a set amount in my mind, and I'm like, okay, let's not do that. Let's not spend more than that. And then like if I do, like whatever happens. If not, then I'm like really happy, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I did the budget, whatever in my mind that I had in my mind. But sometimes I don't even think about that. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, like this is like a quick weekend trip. Like I don't have to think too much about 2 days really. Like it's really not that big a deal. Like I'm just gonna do whatever. I think when it comes to budgeting, I have to know what it is exactly that I'm doing too. And a lot of the times I don't. A lot of the times I'm just like, okay, like I'm gonna, like the kayaking thing that I did. I wish I knew I was gonna do something like that, because then maybe I would have found something better and cheaper, because it was quite expensive. And in my mind, I think to me, what I spent on that was a lot for Thailand, right? Because I paid for 2 people basically. And so had I known that I was gonna do that, I would have budgeted it differently, right? Knowing that, you know, this is not a normal price for one person. This is for 2 people. I think knowing what it is that you're gonna do is really important to budget. But you can also just have like in the back of your mind, like a what's it called? A free form type of budget where you can just like say, okay, I'm going for 2 days. Let's not spend more than X amount of money. And that's really how I roll. I'm really like, go with the flow with it. Because experiences don't come back, but money does. Remember that. Thank you. Third one. What most surprised you? This is a good one. I actually like didn't go over these like before. I forgot. What most surprised me was probably myself. I would say I surprised myself the most in terms of like being able to be on my own. And I know that sounds kind of weird because like I'm 23, I'm almost 24. Like, boy, you should be on your own. Like, no shit. Yeah, like I know that. When I've traveled, I've always been with like my family or friends. Like, I've never done it by myself, and I've never been to this part of the world. I did not know anything about Thailand other than that it was gorgeous. And then like 10 days, like 2 weeks before I actually was leaving there, I taught myself how to read and write Thai. And so I was like trying to prepare myself to get there. So that's all I knew. So all I knew was what I had learned from this book that I had. It's called Read Thai in 10 Days or something. And it was perfect. You only did like 45 minutes a day, and then the next day you reviewed the day before, and then you did another 45 minutes. And I literally, like, I just like, bam, like I learned it so quick. And that surprised me too, how quick I learned Thai, and I'm learning Thai, and how quick I'm acquiring it too. But it kind of has plateaued because I kind of hit like a point where I'm like just not studying anything at the moment. I've just like been chilling and like learning as I go, which is like part of the process of like when you are, you know, immersing yourself in a culture. But I think it's very important for you to also do that little stuff at home, like checking on grammar points and vocabulary, adding more vocabulary, because you cannot just pick up on the vocabulary that you get from people when you're outside, because that's not going to help you if you're not going out the next day or the day after that, because then you have no chance for repetition, and then you're not gonna acquire it. You're just gonna forget it again. So if you're at home studying again and again these vocabulary, and then you have more of a chance to go out and hear it again, and then be able to use it yourself. So that's what most surprised me, I would say, is my ability to. I mean, I always knew I was an adapter, but like just like to adapt to something so new to me. Like this was like the newest thing. Like this is something that I never experienced in my life. I've never solo traveled before. I've never been away from family so long. I've never heard about this country before, like in this capacity. So like, yeah, that surprised me the most, and it was a pleasant surprise, of course. Social differences between USA and Thailand, like greetings, manners, body language. Ooh, girl, I could go way into this. It's a lot. I'll just do a couple though. Let's talk about the simple, like hello, sawadee ka. So sawadee ka, sawadee krap. I should be saying krap, but like the LGBTQ community, like people in that community here in Thailand, like have started to say ka, which is for females, right? Or women or ladyboys, and then for krap is like for men, or like the masculine people, right? So like the feminine say ka, and then masculine people say krap, right? But I say ka, and there's no problem there. So I think ka. So here in Thailand, you do a Thai wai, so like it's like a bow. Instead of like shaking hands and stuff. So I don't really shake people's hands here, and when I do meet foreigners that want to shake my hand, I get so awkward because I'm like, why am I shaking someone's hand right now? And I've only been here 6 months, but like in my mind I'm like, that's so weird to be like touching somebody. I love hugging people, but like you don't you don't do that when you first meet somebody, right? And so like you're not touching someone when you first meet them, like you are just bowing to them. So like to me, like it's been an interesting adjustment to like not touch people, because if you know me, like you know, like if I'm out and about, I love jumping on someone and hugging them, being like, hey, like even if I just met them, like especially if I've been drinking, but like or like, and shaking hands, doing the bro thing too, like I love doing that. I love bringing out my mask side when I'm out, like I don't care. So like that too, like I kind of miss those things, but like I get a little bit of taste of it every time I travel. Like during this trip I definitely got to like hug people and stuff, which was really nice because you don't do it too often, or at least I don't. But yeah, but that doesn't mean like people don't hug here. Like people hug for sure. But I'm just saying it's like you got to be at a different level, right? It's not like just like anytime. So yeah, that's one thing. The bowing is really interesting. So like here you would bow like this to someone that is like lower than you, right? So like kids, or like you're like a mom and that's your child or something like that, right? And then here's like when you want to be a little bit more respectful to like adults or like a superior of yours, yada yada yada. And then here is like the like most respectful way that you can do the bow, and that is for like if you see a monk or if you see the queen or the king, right? So you want to be as respectful as possible. So yeah, that's one difference. And then another one, manners, body language. I would say they're very indirect here. I've definitely y'all know me. I've definitely gotten into some scuffles with people at my school, and so the way they go about it is really different. Like it's not like they're not gonna present the problem in your face. They're gonna like tiptoe around it. And so you kind of have to guess like, okay, well, what's the main thing that's bothering them that I'm doing, or this and that. And so, or you just got to be like straight up with them and show them that like, okay, well, you got to be straight up with me because I don't know what you're saying. Like, I don't know what it is that's bothering you because you're tiptoeing around it so much. So like, that's one thing here is, and that's like really typical in Asian culture. And I think that's why they have the stereotype of being so submissive, is that like, they don't want to like fight. They want to avoid confrontation as much as possible, which I admire, but I also would rather you just tell me. But yeah, so that's a little bit of tea. I'm not gonna tell you guys too much about what happened, but yeah, so that was a good question. There's so many different things. Yeah, greetings, manners, body language. I would say like two for greetings, like they don't really say good morning or good night. They say morning ka. So that is like literally morning, right? We say morning, but they don't have like their own like good morning really. Like they would say at least. It's usually you're just saying swati ka like all day. And then yeah, same with like good night. Yeah, I guess you don't really say good night. But I have like texted guys on like dating apps, and they've texted me like fandi crap, which is like a kind of like I want to say sweet dreams, good dreams or something like that. You can correct me down below if you're Thai and you're seeing this. But yeah, so yeah. Good question. There's so much. Like I don't want to. I could go in forever. I could literally. I don't even know. From the little bit that I know since being here, like I could go on for like so long, and I'm not going to. But yeah, I definitely encourage you to look into it. It's really interesting. The culture here, it's beautiful. Favorite thing about traveling? My favorite thing about traveling is like being by yourself, right? And being aware of yourself and being aware of the way that you interact with the world around you, and going through it all on your own is so amazing and eye-opening to who you are inside your heart and your spirit, right? Because you're gonna go through days where you know things aren't going your way, and you're gonna figure out how you handle those situations and the pressure without anyone's help. And so I think that is one of the best things about traveling, is that you get to learn more and more about yourself every day and what you do in the eyes of conflict, in adversity. But at the same time, like you just get to enjoy all of these things, all these beautiful things by yourself. And like, as much as I want to share it, obviously with like friends and family back home, it's just so nice to not have to compromise with people too, because I know that like traveling with somebody, there's a lot of times where like their traveling style isn't the same. Like for me, like I'm really laid back. I don't like to go, oh, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, we gotta do that. No, like I'm like, we'll do it. And if we don't, well, then we're gonna have to do it next year or something, because I'm not going, you know? So like for Kopipi, like I actually missed my bus. I already told y'all that. And like, not my bus, my boat. And so I only had one more night at my resort. I had lost like $50 for the first night. And I'm like, I have to fly out a couple days after that. And I was just like, you know what? Like, it's just not worth it. Like, I'm just not gonna, and I have to take a boat there, take a boat back, and then catch a bus to the airport. And I was like, nah, like I'll just stay over here so I could just catch a bus early in the morning on the day of my flight this Friday. And so like things like that, like I'm really like okay with happening and stuff. Like I know I'm okay with that happening. And so like I would not want to be with somebody else just because I don't know how they would handle something like that, right? Like you'd think they would be pissed. They'd be like, oh my god, I lost so much money. For me, it was like a couple 5 minutes of like, boy, are you being for real? Like that's what I was like, and that was it. Like, you know, and then you move on, then you go out and you have fun, you go and then you go into the beach, everything. So that's literally all that was for me. But I met a girl though that was like me, like she was really laid back, and like we actually traveled for like a few days together and see like people like that. Like I would love to be around when traveling, but like you just never know, you never know, because like and things change at like any moment, right? Like you can be chill at one point and then maybe you find out this one that they really can't be chill about, you know. So I think that's my favorite thing about traveling, is literally just being so chill, you know, so chill. I'm so chill. Okay, three more. Okay. What is your favorite place you have visited in Thailand? Here. Southern Thailand is the best. It's just such a vibe here, and yeah, that's why this is my favorite. All right, next one. When are you coming to Tokyo? When are you coming to Tokyo? This emoji. So actually, I want to come in the spring, maybe. But I also want to make sure that like I have enough monies to go around the rest of Southeast Asia, the parts that I wanted to go see this time around, because I'm definitely coming back on this side of the world. I haven't told anybody this, but like I'm planning on probably doing another year or two, either in Bangkok or trying to actually go, not to Tokyo, but like somewhere in, maybe to the west of Tokyo, in the suburbs or something, work there or something. So we'll see when that happens and if that happens, but yeah, that's definitely in the works to go to Tokyo. So I will definitely see you at some point if you're there. I don't know when you're leaving. I know who you are. You know who you are. I don't know when you're leaving, but whenever you do, whenever you leave, okay, that's it. Like, okay, like I'm gonna still go. Okay. Who do you miss the most? Correct answer, me. Girl, shut up. All right, so that's so cute. No, I do miss you, girl. I miss you. She knows who she is. Miss you so much. Literally every time I use that bag, you know, I always think about you. So, and I'm like around that bag a lot, so I always think about you, girl. But yeah, I miss you. I miss my friends from college. I miss my family, of course. I would say that my sisters, I definitely miss the most out of everyone, just because we get along so well now, and I would love for them to see Thailand. So hopefully one day they can come, or we can all go together. I'm actually trying to meet up with them in Europe when I come back, but they're always so busy. My family's always so busy. I feel bad for them. So I'm like what's the meme? It's like the one child that's like abroad and no one knows what she's doing. Like, yeah, like, how she's making money. Like that's me. That's me in the family. So yeah, I really do miss them a lot. My family and I were really close. So yeah, love them. Love you guys. If you're watching this, they probably are, because they have nothing better to do. No, I'm just kidding. I'm so nasty. All right, so that was it for my question Q&A. I'm going to post another Q&A on my Instagram and my TikTok and my Snapchat, and then we'll see like how many I get next time, and then maybe I'll sprinkle it through like another vlog, just because I don't need to be sitting down here and doing like a separate Q&A video, because I think I'm gonna do this separately. Okay. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Oh, and you can drop comments down below and ask questions here on YouTube too, and I'll answer those as well. Thank you so much. I love you guys. See you.